Bandwidth for This Week in Photography is brought to you by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com.
Okay, so we're here at Minox. Now, Minox has an illustrious history of 007.
Absolutely. This is the classic Minox camera. If you've ever seen the old spy movies, you know.
Of course, the spy movie that I thought of, I don't know if they're going to be happy that I talk about it, but when I see this, all I think of is Fletch. Remember the little thing with the Doberman chasing them and running around? But it's like, but for the spies, you know, all these spy films, this is the great little camera that is the classic. I mean, this is the spy camera. It's not a spy camera, it's the spy camera.
And I mean, you probably remember, you know, it's got the little tiny viewfinder. You can shoot all those important documents and everything like that. This is the real film version still. It has the, I remember how this works. So the little film canister fits in there and everything.
It's so cute.
So this is the classic model, right? But Minox has now come up with a whole line, apparently.
They're moving into the future. I mean, they're going digital.
Right. So they've got a bunch of these cool little mini cameras that are the digital equivalents of this.
They have a spy camera still.
Right. So this is their latest model of the ultra small compact one. It's even more compact than the original. Fully digital. I think it's like 5 megapixels type of resolution. Has an accessory thing which you can stick on here for auxiliary flash and also viewfinder.
A viewer, because you know when you want to make it really, really small, when you want to hide it somewhere, you don't want to have all that extra stuff. But when you do, there it is.
No chimping, as it says, right? You don't. If you're in the middle of your spy mission, you can't be seeing if your exposure's right and looking back at your things and everything. So we don't do that.
You just got to shoot and go.
So, but in addition to that, they've got a couple of other retro versions of this in multiple colors.
This is the Paris Hilton version.
Apparently so.
I don't know if it's actually the Paris Hilton version, but when I see it, I just think Paris Hilton. You can imagine Paris Hilton with a little dog and a little camera when you're just carrying it around.
So I don't know a whole lot about this one. It's not as cool to me as this, which is the old style Rolleiflex. I don't even know if you can see this whole thing, but it's got the whole thing where it pops up. You get a little LCD viewfinder here, so you can actually shoot pointing downward. It's got the classic crank on the side that you have to crank it in order to shoot the next picture. And you crank it again, like that. It's pretty crazy.
That's so cute. It's just like it's just classic photography in miniature.
Price-wise, they're a little expensive.
But you know the thing is this is an emotional thing. This isn't something you're buying because you're trying to have these types of them. And they have a couple other ones that are more standard cameras. But the types that we wanted to show you here are you're not buying them because they're going to compete directly with Olympus or Nikon or you're buying them because they're cool. And so that's it.
At a party, you pull this out at a party,
you're going to get some attention.
Exactly. Hang on, let me get the photo here. Everybody smile.
There's going to be a lot of people asking about that camera. So, you know, if you want people to come up and talk to you and ask you about the camera, that's the way to do it. So anyway, once again, it's Minox, and I don't even know what they call these other than miniature cameras, but what they're really known for is spy cameras. So we're here at Tamrac, and Ron found something that was insanely cool. What is this?
Insanely cool. Well, it's pretty neat, at least.
It's insanely cool. It's impossibly small.
It is pretty small. It's pretty light, right?
It's impossibly light.
Man, you're just selling, aren't you?
I'm excited about it.
It's cool. All right, so this is a tripod, and we all know how much I love tripods. But I had to check this one out. So it's kind of wrapped up. You can see what it is. I'm going to just unbungee cord it, and I'll just demo what it is, first of all. Just basically,
it's a spider.
This. Oh. And it's out, and it's open. So you notice I didn't do any unscrewing and pulling and all that kind of stuff out. What it is, it's like on your tent. Those tent poles that you have with, you know, the aluminum tubes, and they got the elastic between them, and you just sort of snap them into place. This is what this is, and they just Tamrac makes this beast. It's called the Zip Shot.
He's still working on that. We know what it is. We just don't know what it's called.
Exactly. But it's surprisingly stable. Okay, granted, this is not a replacement for your carbon fiber Manfrotto with, you know, Acrotech ball head. But what it is a pretty neat, light, extremely lightweight that you can shove into a bag. It's got a ball head on there, adjustable ball head, and it's reasonably good in terms of the amount of weight you can put on it. They claim most full-size DSLRs with sort of the kit lens on it. You're not going to put one of those monster Scott Bourne lenses on it, but you know, your decent-size lens. I probably wouldn't put a really long lens on there. They say it holds, you know, even in the sideways orientation, and it does feel pretty strong, what you got on there. And you know, ultimately, just the fact that it compresses to something that's so incredibly small and light, you just kind of
a lot of us have these like really light little tripods, and we were just talking about one from Joby, but it was sticking on something. But sometimes you want something a little bit more. You want something that can sit up a little bit. What I look at when I saw this, when Ron was the one that showed it to me, when I saw it, what I really saw it as is a great one if you have like a little HV20 or HV30, you want to do sit-down interviews, or you want to do some little sit-down portraits that are kind of on the run. It's the perfect height for that, you know, and it's probably as high as you could ever make one of these and actually have it work. But it's great for what it is, and I think it's only, how much is it?
I think they said it's like $50, you know, and you can get it anywhere, Amazon or B&H or Adorama or any of those.
And if you're traveling though, I think, and you're saying, you know, I'm not going to bring a tripod because I don't have, it's too much weight, it's too much, it takes up too much room. That's the kind of alternative, and that's where this makes a good alternative.
That's exactly where I would characterize it as, is, you know, this is the one, if you weren't planning to bring a tripod in the first place, this is light enough and small enough you can just toss it into a bag and, you know, not feel too bad about having it. And it's, you know, you're not going to be shooting if it's really windy out or if anything intense is going on, but, you know, simple like this and you're ready to go.
Pretty nifty, and once again, it's called the Zip Shot, and it's from Tamrac. So now you know you're not really famous. You haven't really made it until you have a bobblehead made of yourself, you know. And so the thing is that a lot of times I'm still waiting. I mean, I've been waiting for a long time to have a bobblehead made of my head, and it turns out that I don't have to wait for some big company to do it for me. I can actually just have it made, and I know that kind of feels like cheating, but I think I might have to do it. So this is called YouBobble, and what they do is you send them a photograph. They're going to take your head, and someone's going to actually sculpt it. So they're going to sculpt your head, and then they're going to send it back to you and say, hey, is this your head? And you're going to go yes, or you go no, change this, and they're going to send it back to you, and then they're going to paint it all up, and they're going to, you know, bake it into something that's going to last for a while, and they're going to put it together, and they're going to send it to you. Now you think that whole round trip is going to cost you a lot of money. I mean, this would be $1,000. I mean, there's someone sculpting it by hand. It costs about $100, $120, something like that. So it's a pretty inexpensive little gift. You know, to just tell someone that you love that that they've made it. They made it. They have their own bobblehead. So this is the first of 3 things that I wanted to show you of ways to turn your photographs into 3D that you probably didn't think about. Now you're probably wondering which one is real. So here, what we have here is, this is another one of the 3 things I wanted to show you of 3D versions of your photos that you probably didn't think of. So 3DPhotoWorks, and what they do is they take your photo and they use some kind of secret proprietary process to extrude it out. I think there's a bunch of little green guys with little chisels and put it together. But what they do here is they bring it out and then they apply that photo to it. And you know, I'm not sure in the middle of the night if I'm ready to have this sticking out in my living room, but it is pretty cool. I mean, you know, you have to you think about it. I mean, you're really starting to move into that into 3D. And so this is another one like the bobblehead. You have another way to kind of bring this out into 3D, and there's still one more that I want to show you. So I so feel like I'm in Harry Potter. So I mean, doesn't this, like when you're looking at, I don't know how it looks on video, but I'll tell you what it looks like in real life. It's like a 3D character that's in here. Now this is 3DPhoto.us, and what they do is they provide these to dealers. It's really a service for dealers, but retail, this is about $400 for an image like this, and it just kind of jumps out. And so this process is another way that I just wanted to show you these 3 different ways of how 3D is you know, how photos are being taken to 3D. So it's a new process that keeps it very flat, and it feels very odd to, like, when I touch the screen, it does feel like I should be reaching into the scene. And but as soon as I walked by here, I felt like I could hear the Harry Potter. I was waiting for the film. I was waiting for one of these guys to start talking to me, and they didn't. But that's okay. So check it out, 3DPhoto.us.